But at the point where you actually start talking about numbers, you need to do one thing. This one thing is going to help you save a ton of time. It's going to help you avoid a ton of headaches and a ton of chasing. You have to come in high, even if it's higher than what your exception is, even if it's higher than what you can actually give. Because if you come in high and then for whatever reason they don't buy, of course they're not going to buy, right? Because you're high. And now you at least can create leverage or the idea of the fear of missing out by painting the picture of an exception. And so let's say that exception is your actual true cost, right? And let's say they don't even buy then. Well, if I didn't even come high, I wouldn't have the tiers to go down lower and create this idea that I'm hooking them up. So in this video, I'm going to tell you another important lesson that my mentor taught me a while ago. This is when I was actually starting off as a salesman. I had this issue of not really understanding where to go. And that brought all kinds of anxiety out of me because, like if you ever been like in an area where you didn't necessarily know what you were talking about. And so what you did was you just basically rambled on. There was no actual proven roadmap. And so that was my problem. And, talking in sales and especially being brand new to the industry, I didn't really know what it was like, right? And so maybe you might be having this challenge where you find yourself not necessarily going down a straight path, but you just veer off. And the problem with that issue is that it can often cause you to waste a ton of your time. And one thing that I know about salesmen is that our time is valuable, right? Because usually salesmen, we're paid based on how effective we are with our time. So the salesman that makes the most sales within that given day is the one that's actually profiting the most. Am I right? So if you agree with me, comment below. Let me know if that makes sense to you, because this valuable lesson that I learned from my mentor changed the trajectory of my career. It changed how I looked at sales. And that mentor that taught me this, he saw that I was struggling. He saw that I was wasting a lot of time and I was putting in more hours than him, and I wasn't making nearly as many sales as him. And so what he did was he used to call me Youngblood, right? His name was Winston. He's called me over. He's like, "Hey, Youngblood, come here." Cool cat, man. Real cool cat. I could visually see him. And I was probably maybe in my early 20s. And he told me, he said, "Hey, man, I see your work ethic. Your hustle is strong. I can tell you really want it. I'm gonna teach you a lesson. You have to have purpose. Purpose makes sense." He's all, but I'm not talking about sense like the sixth sense. I'm talking about sense, CENTS. It makes sense. I'm like, oh, okay, purpose makes money. He's all, no, young blood. Sense is an acronym. And so he told me, he's all, first off, you have to understand why you need purpose. He said, if you have purpose, you know where you're going. If you don't have purpose, you're just gonna kind of go with the flow, and you're gonna let the prospect dictate how long the conversation is going to be, what direction the conversation is going to go. He said, if you don't have purpose, you're never really going to make sense. He's all, and that's actually going to determine your money. He's all, follow me on this. He's all, in order to actually make sale, you have to get an engagement to where there's trust, there's desire, right? And he's all, without purpose, you're either going to lose that sale or you're going to drive that sale. He's all, check this out, young blood. And he always just call me young blood, man. I can hear it in my head. It's so weird. He said most salesmen have purpose, but only the successful salesmen have a dual purpose. And he said the unsuccessful salesmen have a purpose of just feeding themselves, meaning what's in it for them. He said, but the most successful salesmen have a dual purpose, meaning what's in it for both of us. He said, if you can find a way to train your mindset to have a dual purpose, because a lot of salesmen aren't that way. A lot of salesmen are just out to make a quick buck. They're just out to drive their revenue. They're out to brag about that they booked somebody. And I understood where he's coming from because I was that way. If you were that way, man, comment below. Like, man, tell me, let me know. Let me say, hey, D, I was that way. I like to, show off and say I sold somebody. Because this is around the time that Boiler Room came out, the movie Boiler Room, right? And Glenn Ross. So it was like, that was the thing to do. He said, but check this out. You need to have dual purpose, meaning it has to be a win-win, because if you engage with a prospect and you find out that they can't benefit, you need to have purpose of helping them save their time or helping them save themselves from making a bad decision. And the karma of that will help you avoid wasting your time in the future, because if you have dual purpose, meaning you want to help them save themselves, you're going to help yourself by moving them out of your way, because you need to protect your time. He said one of the most valuable things that salesmen have is not necessarily their skill set, but it's also their time, how effective and how efficient they are with their time. He's also learned how to have a dual purpose. Look at the win-win situation, because that win-win situation will foster win-win opportunities, and that opportunity will be referrals, it'll be long-term relationships, it'll be, repetitive business, repeat business. And that goodwill will end up as good karma, and it will feed you for the long run. He said, now here's why it makes sense. Purpose makes sense. Again, C-E-N-T-S. He's all, first off, C stands for curiosity. So you need to understand that your purpose is to look for someone with curiosity. And then if you find that curiosity, you engage and extract. So he said, once you know you have curiosity from someone who wants to learn more, you need to extract. And so what he's talking about, extract, he's all extract the intel, extract the information, extract the deeper desire, because that is what they need. He's all, when you extract their inner emotions, you're going to find out what they need. And then when you find out what they need, mind you, C-E-N-T-S, right? So curiosity, extract, and need, right? So you're extracting the needs. When you discover and you pinpoint their needs, you found their truth. Their truth becomes your leverage. You cannot win in negotiations without leverage. If you really think about it, the only way you can really negotiate is if you have leverage to make them buy from you. So that's all we're really looking for in our negotiation. That's all we're really looking for in sales. So again, if you generate the curiosity, you find the curiosity, you extract their needs, you find their truth, that leverage will create the security. So sense, curiosity, extract, need, truth, security. Security is the sale, because through security, you could sell that person and they will stick with you. Their loyalty belongs to you. They will do whatever it is you want them to do, whether it's look up all 3 years or 2 years of their tax returns, send you 99 items, whatever it might be, it's going to be in your favor. It's going to be in your court. And one thing about negotiation is, I see this mistake happen too many times with salesmen, is they like to come in super low with no meat on the bone. And so oftentimes they'll look for the lowest rate, or they'll end up pitching the lowest offer, or they'll ask for the maximum exception. But the only way you're going to have leverage to make to paint the picture so that their perception is that they are in a position where they can miss out. And mind you, fear of missing out is one of the strongest pieces of leverage. That's why there's things like sale expires in 24 hours, right? There's things like get it now, this weekend only, right? There's that fear of missing out. And so we need to understand that about marketing. We need to understand that about the truth about human emotion and people's buying decision. But when you understand that, then you understand how you can engage negotiation with leverage. And so you always want to start high. Whenever you pitch, whenever you offer, or whenever you negotiate price, which first off, you can't negotiate price until you find the truth. So remember that, C-E-N-T-S. So you got to get the curiosity, you got to extract their needs, and then you discover their truth, and then you can go into negotiation. Then you can start talking about numbers. But at the point where you actually start talking about numbers, you need to do one thing. This one thing is going to help you save a ton of time. It's going to help you avoid a ton of headaches and a ton of chasing. You have to come in high, even if it's higher than what your exception is, even if it's higher than what you can actually give. Because if you come in high, and then for whatever reason they don't buy, of course they're not going to buy, right? Because you're high. And now you at least can create leverage, or the idea of the fear of missing out, by painting the picture of an exception. And so let's say that exception is your actual true cost, right? And let's say they don't even buy then. Well, if I didn't even come high, I wouldn't have the tiers to go down lower and create this idea that I'm hooking them up. And so if I came in high, and then I was painting the picture that I'm actually giving an exception, or I'm giving a discount, when in all reality, my first discount was what I can actually, the retail price of my product. And then I had an exception basis. Maybe I had a little bit of yield spread to play with. Then I could say, okay, what I can do, and this is me painting the picture, what I can do is I can make a request to my manager if I can get you this special price. There's a campaign that's going on in your area to ask for that. I think I may have enough leverage to ask for that. But here's the thing, what my manager is going to want in return is I'm going to need a full file. I'm going to need everything like buttoned up, because he's not just going to give this to me because I asked for it. This is a real special prize. You know, so if you can get me these items by end of day tomorrow, I'm going to go to bat for you. And if I go to bat for you, I need your loyalty. I need you to know that you're going to stick with me, because you're going to make me look bad in front of my manager. I asked you for this hookup, and then, you know, like, you don't end up following through. If you can follow through and you can give me these documents or whatever it is you need in your sale, and I promise you, I'll go to bat and I'll request this amazing price for you. You see the idea? Instead, a lot of salesmen just go in for the gusto. They go in with that crazy ass price, and there's no meat on the bones. There's no way to point leverage, because what if they say no? Now you're asked out, right? Because there's no more room. You already, you know, squeezed all the juice out of it. There's no profit in it. And then there's a lot of salesmen wondering why, like, there's not people who are buying. Is because the perception that you painted was already low from the beginning. If you're giving it away that low to begin with, who's to say that, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna go find out if it's cheaper elsewhere. So I hope that this video has helped you. If you didn't catch the whole video, be sure that you watch it from the very beginning, because there is a very, very, very valuable lesson that my mentor taught me of how to save yourself some time and really be more efficient with your time, because a salesman's time is most valuable. We get paid and compensated based on how effective and efficient we are with our time. If you believe that, please comment below and share this video with someone who really needs to see it. And by the way, if you want to learn how to generate sales both inbound and outbound more effectively, go to salesremaster.com, request a copy of my free sales script. While you're there, take a gander of the products that I got available, because they're all designed to help you get to that next level. So I appreciate you guys' time and attention, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.